All right, so now it's time to get some practice on your own with the GitHub basics, creating GitHub repositories, setting up remotes, pushing, that sort of thing. So nothing crazy here, but really the bread and butter of working with GitHub is just getting your code up on GitHub, and then as we'll soon see, getting code down, pulling down from GitHub, which we haven't yet learned. Anyway, as always for these exercises, you can find the link to get to these instructions as a resource with this video. So I recommend you open that up and probably, like always, just pause this video and read the instructions. If you have questions, come back to this video. So the core idea here is that you're going to make a new repository locally on your computer. Then you'll go to GitHub and make a GitHub repository, and then you'll connect the two. Then, after that, you'll make a file called favorites.txt, an empty file. You'll save, and you'll make your first commit. Now, this part is optional if you want to go with main instead of master. I'm going to be using main just to be consistent in this file, but if you choose to stay with master, then just sub that in wherever you see main. So you'll make a new file, favorites.txt, leave it empty, make your first commit on the main branch. Then push up that main branch to GitHub. So make sure that you see your empty file on GitHub. Then the next bit is to make two branches, a foods branch and a movies branch, both based on the main branch. Then switch to the foods branch, add 3 or more of your favorite foods to the file, add and commit your changes. Then switch to the movies branch, add 3 or more of your favorite movies to the favorites file, add and commit your changes. Then push up your foods branch to GitHub and make sure you see it on GitHub if you refresh the page, and then do the same thing for the movies branch, push up the movies branch. And then we get to this step where I'd like you to merge the foods branch. Let me fix the highlighting. Okay, there we go. So you'll merge the foods branch into the main branch, and then you'll merge the movies branch into the main branch. So you should now have, after this step, a favorites file that contains both your favorites movies, both your favorite movies, and your favorite foods in the same file, favorites.txt, on the main branch. So now the main branch has changed. GitHub doesn't have that, so push up the latest work from that main branch, push it up to GitHub. So that's the basic steps, right? Make a repo, go on GitHub, make a repo, connect the two. Then push up your first little commit on the main branch, make 2 branches, do some work on both of them, push each of them up individually, and then merge those branches locally into the main branch and push the main branch up again. So please give it a shot on your own, unless you are very comfortable with GitHub. I don't know why you'd be watching this video anyway, but I know it's not the most exciting possible. I mean, none of these exercises are going to knock your socks off, but very important basic workflow. So I'll go ahead and do it. I'll make a new repository locally on my machine. Let's do it in a folder. I'll call this favorites. I'll cd into it and check that I'm not in a repo. I'll init a new repo. Okay. And then I'll go ahead and make my new GitHub repository. So go to github.com, click the plus, new repository, and I'll just call this one GH favorites exercise. Name it whatever you'd like. I'll keep it public if you want to take a look. There's not really going to be much to look at, but you're welcome to. And then I'm going to create it. And then the next step is to connect my local repo to the GitHub repo, which really just means add this remote. So I'm going to add that remote and then optionally rename my master branch to main. We can just copy that, assuming that we're on the master branch, or in this case, we're not even on a branch yet. So I will need to make that master branch, or I will need to do some work, but then I can rename it. So as you can see, I'm not even on a branch yet. I don't have any commits, so there's no branch reference. But I'll just save that line for just a moment, because next we're going to make a new file called favorites.txt. We'll leave it empty and make our first commit. So touch favorites.txt. Then we'll add it. So git add favorites, and we'll commit. Just do something like add empty favorites file. Okay, so now we see master there, and I'm going to rename that to main. Right? So I type git status. We see on branch main. If I type git branch, we don't have the master branch anymore. So if you want to go with main, that's how you do it. Next, we need to push up this main branch to GitHub. Right now, nothing is up here, it's just empty. So git push origin, if that's the name of our remote, and you can always check git remote -v, it is origin if you just copied and pasted from GitHub. So git push origin, and then main is my branch. And if I refresh here, we should see that empty file. And there it is. Okay, so next step, we need to create two branches, foods and movies. So git branch foods, git branch movies. Or I could do git switch -c or git checkout -b. I can switch to one of them, so I'm going to switch to foods, if I can spell that. And then add 2, or what did I say, 3 of my favorite foods to the favorites file. So let me open this file. And what are my favorite foods? I did not think through this at all. Well, one of them would have to be peppermint ice cream, not just mint chip. It has to be peppermint ice cream. It's not that common anymore. Used to have it around Christmas as a kid. What else? Man, I'm going to sound like such a fatty if I just say my honest favorites. Soft pretzels. Oh, I love soft pretzels. And then I feel like I need to just lie. How about celery? Yeah, I just love celery. All right, so now I need to add and commit this on the foods branch. So git add favorites, git commit -m, add favorite foods, not dudes. And then that's it. I could skip ahead and just push it up, but I'm going to now switch to the movies branch. Git switch to movies and add 3 of my favorite movies in here. If you've seen any of my other courses, you probably know, or at least maybe you might remember my favorite movie is Amadeus. I think I say that far too often in my courses. Great film. You got to watch it if you haven't seen it. And if you don't like it, I get it. It's not for everyone, but anyway. How about Fifth Element? That's another one I like. Not necessarily, this is not top 3 movies, not in order. It doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't matter at all. What else? Here's a fun one I liked quite a bit. Captain Fantastic, Viggo Mortensen. Sure, we'll say those are my favorites. Not quite. Amadeus, though, yeah, always number 1. Okay, so now I'm going to add those changes. Git add favorites, git commit, add 3 of my fave movies. Okay, and then we get to this step. Push up the foods branch to GitHub. So I can just do git push, my remote origin, and then the name of the branch, foods. I don't need to be on the foods branch. And I'll refresh, and we should see a new branch. There it is. And we want to verify we see our foods. Whatever you put, they show up here, right? And I was looking at that file, so that's why I saw this view. You'd probably see this. Okay, now push up the movies branch. Git push, origin, movies. And refresh. Okay, we see the movies branch, and there we are. We see favorites, and it has my favorite, or some of my favorite movies. Then finally, merge the food branch into the main branch. So I'm going to switch to main, and then I'll just show you my favorites file is empty right now. And I'm going to merge in foods. So git merge foods, and that's just a fast forward. Okay, that's the easy part. Then I need to merge the movies branch into main. Now this won't be a fast forward because now there's commits on the main branch that the movies branch does not have. So git merge and then movies. And we get a lovely conflict. I'm just going to select accept both changes, and there we go. We'll just leave it like this. I could put a little heading, I guess, if I wanted that said movies here. Meh, I'll just leave it like that. Anyway, I'm going to resolve the conflict like I just did. I'm going to add favorites, and then I'll make my commit here. What should I do? Let's just clear git commit, merge movies and foods into main. Okay? And then finally, I need to push that up, right? So I don't have that latest commit on the main branch on GitHub. If I go to it, it's just an empty file. Very sad. Now, it's just as simple as git push. Now, I didn't use -u in the previous, when I first pushed the first time, so I still need to say origin main. If I had used -u, I could just say git push. So, actually, it might just figure it out on its own. No, it does not. Okay, so git push origin main. And if you have questions about that -u, there's a standalone video I made on it, so you could go check that out. But you probably already know that. Okay, and there we are. So we see that we have this new commit 1 minute ago, less than that, where we merged movies and foods into main. And on main, we see all three on GitHub. Foods just has the foods, and movies just has the movies. Okay, I need to take a break and watch one of these. That would be nice, with some peppermint ice cream and pretzels, and not celery. I don't like celery at all, really. Bye-bye.